The story I'm going to read today is called The Snowman Song, a Christmas Story, illustrated by Tracy LaRue Hahn, and the story is written by Marilee Joy Mayfield. There's a proverb here, it's called the Spanish proverb, that is, there is not enough darkness in the world to extinguish the light of one small candle. That's the proverb of this book. It's true, that people of snow send their thoughts around without making a sound. They just have thoughts, snowman. Their feelings become small jewels of pure ice, and they sense their frost drops like a snowy cold spice. So there is Mother Snowman and Son Snowman setting in the night. I want to sing, a little snowman sent his thought to his mother. I want to go caroling like a happy child with a silvery voice. It's Christmas time. I want to rejoice. Snow people can't sing, his mother thought sadly. We're made of snow and it makes no sound. A child of snow doesn't have a voice. I'm sorry, my son, you don't have a choice. So see them little whirls? They're the thoughts of a snowman. But her little son Snowman had so many strong wishes. He wanted to share that he made a whirl storm of whirling thought air. See, there's his whirling thought air that he's thinking about. I want my voice to be like church bells, or like harps that angels play in the clouds. I want my voice to be bright, happy, and loud, so all people and creatures of earth will hear my proud hymn to our Savior's birth. A tiny, bright bird with a darting, quick pace wrapped her feet on his tree arm and sang near his face. So he had someone to sing to him. Her thoughts formed soft snow notes so sweet and clear, he almost felt he had ears to hear. Why can't I sing like you? Thought the little snowman. Of course you can. She sent this thought back to him as she touched his snow head with the tip of her wing. But first you really need to believe that no matter what anyone thinks back to you, it just isn't true that a snowman can't sing. You think she's right? She says a snowman can sing. How can I do that? Everyone tells me I don't have a choice. I'll never make music or have my own voice. I'm not sure how you do it. She sent back her warm thoughts. I just know before you can change who you are, you have to believe. Feel it deep in your heart. Think strong thoughts in your mind. Even when there's no hope, you must see a star. So look at the star that came close to him in the sky. It probably was like a cloud. So the sad little snowman put on a brave face. He worked hard to replace his doubts and his fears with thoughts of sweet songs, music, bells ringing, and choirs. Deep in his heart, like a candle-lit fire, his bright wish remained, his one heart's desire. The sun always cheered him. At dawn he felt strong. He tried to have hope that his voice would soon flower. Would this be the day? Would this be the hour? But his spirit grew weak as the day became long. Each day was a chance to make a new start, but by night he cried ice and felt sad in his heart. He thought sure he was going to be able to sing, and he just can't seem to be able to sing. Look at him. He's got his tears down his eyes. Sometimes he looked up for signs in the sky, but nothing was happening. He couldn't make sounds. Despite all his wishing, no one seemed aware that deep in the park, in the snow, he was there. Just look at that. No one knew he was there. But one day he woke up and something was new. The morning was crisp and the sky was bright blue. See how blue the sky is? He felt powdery with footsteps. Mama's, look what I found. A small girl stood near him. Then she jumped up and down. Her eyes were so happy, her thoughts like bright light. Her warm voice was filled with pure Christmas delight. He's such a cute snowman. Could I stay and play for a while? Of course you can, dear. I'll be right here. Just have a good time. So there she is playing with Mr. Snowman. For most of the day, she played beside him. She straightened his hat and turned up its brim. She draped her red winter scarf around his round middle. She sang him 3 songs and she told him a riddle. Then she dangled her store-bought glass beads and charms all over his long carrot nose and both of the arms. So there she was making him look pretty. Do you think he can hear me? She asked her mother. Are you crazy? Sneered her big brother. He rolled his eyes. Who told you those lies? Snowmen can't hear anything that you say. Let's go home, said her mom. We'll come back another day. But the little girl didn't want to go home. Her once joyful thought took a more somber tone. She ran up to the side of his sad, snowy face and whispered these words which felt like an embrace. I know you can hear me. I really believe it. I think you are special. I'll never forget the day that we spent. I hear your music even though you can't speak. And then she leaned over and kissed his cold cheek. He wanted so much to sing just one small note, but nothing would come from his cold, hard snow throat. If only she knew he could hear in his head the sweet, gentle grace of the words she had said. But something was happening. He just didn't know, for where she had kissed him, she left a warm glow. See, there's little white things coming out of his cheek. And little by little the snow melted spaces, leaving tiny pearl strings of small open places from the side of his face to the base of his throat, like the holes in a flute that play very high notes. So his cheek was getting all warm and the snow was starting to drip down. The night before Christmas was the worst night he'd had. All around there was music. Everyone seemed so glad. He silently stood in his place in the park. His feelings were frozen. His thoughts were so dark. His mother was worried. She felt his despair, and she tried to send comfort to him through the air. So there's those whirling thoughts that she's trying to give him because he's so sad. He knew that she cared, but his cold, heavy silence was too sad to be shared. The loss of his dreams was too much to shoulder, and they wouldn't come back even if he had told her. He bowed his head and shut his eyes tight. Snow was starting to fall. It was such a cold night. With the last ounce of courage that only faith brings, his thoughts formed this prayer with frost-covered wings. So he had like angel wings that he thought he had on him. Please let me sing a song filled with light. Then my life will be perfect and my thoughts will be right. and all the sweet sounds angels use to stop doubt will burst forth from my heart and out of my mouth like a powdery snow over the holy night. He almost missed her soft steps in the snow. She was holding a candle that gave us warm glow. It was a small girl. She had brought him a gift. She sensed all his tears. His soul needed a lift. Just look at that. She came to give him a lift, to make him happy. Round his neck there was tingling, like spoons hitting glass. She had made him a necklace in her second grade class. Silver bells, gold stars, and snowflakes of blue. It was beautifully fashioned and it made music too. This gesture of kindness made his heart feel so light. His spirit was lifted. He forgot all his sorrow. No more thoughts of tomorrow. No more thoughts of the past. He just loved this one moment. He wanted to freeze it just so it would last. So here he was so excited that he had that music around his whole body. Then the winter wind came with huge forceful blasts. The tinkling bell necklace swirled round very fast, and all of a sudden the holes near his face blew out lyrical sounds like a heavenly flute. The whole world stood in place. His dream was fulfilled. He was no longer mute. That necklace made him, when it was really windy, made him feel like he was singing. His song was spring rains and violin strings, the fragrance of flowers and hummingbird wings, words of great kindness, the faith in our hymns, the shine in our eyes, and a little girl's whims. More joyful than angels, more peaceful than sleep, filled with longing and prayers and memories to keep. Just look at him. He's so excited that he's full of that psalm and full of the music. All the love in his mind, all the light in his soul, his dreams for the future, his hopes to be whole, were the notes of his music, his own unique psalm. Her soft giving spirit had made his thoughts calm. She knew he had heard her. It was golden and true. The wonder of Christmas surrounded these two. Just look at them. They were having a good time. For this sweet frozen moment, this small speck of time, in heaven and earth, everything was sublime. Just look at him. He had music. And especially with her, when she came and gave him that necklace, it made all kinds of beautiful sounds. Thank you for listening to the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day and God bless.